6 straight games without him. How have they found a way to win?
They're punching the ball inside. Ward's averaging 16 points a game over the last 5, 8 rebounds. And Cassius Winston, not only is he getting to the basket, but he's averaging over 6 assists a game. Winston gives him a different dimension. He's a great feel for the game, makes other people better. And then Tom Izzo, Alvin Ellis, all of a sudden, as a senior, has been inserted playing 3, 4, and sometimes 5, is giving him quality minutes. Led him in scoring today. Alvin Ellis has a very good feel for the game, understands the Michigan State system. Tom Izzo has willed this team to win the last 2 games, and when they get Bridges back, all of a sudden now they're going to have another front court athlete. He'll end up starting 4 freshmen.
So Michigan State has Rutgers coming up, and we were talking about this while we were watching the game, about whether or not Miles Bridges will play in this next game. We don't know yet, although he was dressed, in uniform and participated in warm-ups. If you were to watch sort of how Bridges is being sort of brought along, how would you sort of judge the way Tom Izzo has handled this?
You can't rush this. Forget about Miles Bridges this year. You're talking about Miles Bridges moving forward. So, again, his injury is kind of unspecified. It's some type of foot injury. But Tom Izzo is not going to rush him back. They're going to make sure that he is 100% healthy so that moving forward, whether it's this year or the following year, this isn't a nagging injury. But Bridges brings so much versatility to what they do. He can get to the glass. He runs the floor. He can shoot the ball to the three-point line. He makes the game easier for everyone. You put Bridges and Ward together right now, the way Ward's playing, the way Cassius Winston is distributing the basketball, and now you've got a real foundation moving forward. And I do like the way Alvin Ellis is playing because he gives him some experience with those young players.
All right, let's shift back to the Big 12. And certainly at Hilton Coliseum, Iowa State has been basically given to win, but not this time. Texas Tech really took it to Iowa State early. What did you see from the Red Raiders?
Well, this is a very athletic, experienced Red Raider team, but Iowa State gets back in this game, Andy, by getting stopped. That's kind of out of their character, but they don't have George Niang, so they've got to get stops to get back in games. And when you have Monte Morris, when you have Naz Long, when you have Matt Thomas, you have shot makers. And Iowa State showed a toughness about them. And you know what they have there? A little Hilton what?
Hilton Magic. And they've got experienced guards, as you said, that led them to this victory. Their Big 12 home opener, 63-56 over Texas Tech, which did have a 10-point lead at the half. All right, West Virginia taking on Oklahoma State. Brad Underwood, coached for Bob Huggins in the past. So the offenses kind of mirror each other as well as the defenses. What do you see in terms of Oklahoma State?
West Virginia is relentless. Oklahoma State, they took Juwan Evans out of the game as a scorer. And look how hard this West Virginia team plays. They stay in the play. They turn defense into offense. They share the ball, make the extra pass. They're only turning over 13% of their possessions. That's top 15 in the country. Last year, they turned it over 20%. But when they create turnovers, Andy, you know what it is? It's that. An uncontested layup. This team plays as hard as any team in the country.
West Virginia, Baylor, likely the 2 teams that are going to challenge Kansas for the Big 12 regular season title. Kansas at TCU. What do the Jayhawks have to do to win on the road?
Well, they've got to find a way to get a little bit of inside offense. They've got to take care of the basketball, and then they've got to contain the backcourt of TCU. Those 2 guards can get in the lane and make plays. Fisher and Robinson are very good. Jamie Dixon, he'll try to control the tempo of the game, take the Jayhawks out of transition.
Big 12 home opener for TCU and the Big 12 debut for TCU head coach Jamie Dixon. Used to play for the Horned Frogs back at his alma mater in Fort Worth, and he takes on the Kansas Jayhawks, trying to get their 13th straight Big 12 regular season title. We'll see if they get a good start in the Big 12. Let's head off to Fort Worth.
The final Big 12 game to open conference play, and the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks on the road to take on the upstart TCU Horned Frogs from Fort Worth, Texas, as KU looks to take its first step toward a record 13th consecutive conference championship. From inside a rowdy and sold-out Schollmeyer Arena in Fort Worth, alongside Reed Geddes, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Great to have you along with us to open Big 12 conference play. Let's talk about what's new with these 2 programs. For TCU, new look, new head coach. Their head coach is Jamie Dixon, returning to his alma mater here in Fort Worth. But there's also some new things for these Kansas Jayhawks, despite the fact that they've won 12 straight Big 12 titles.
You know, you're talking about the rarest of rarefied air. When you're chasing John Wooden and UCLA and the record for consecutive conference championships. But this is a Kansas team. We've grown accustomed to seeing them being led in scoring by post players, by power forwards. Well, this team Frank Mason currently scoring more points per game than any of these legendary Kansas guards that have played for Bill Self. Amazing. This is a team, and we're not used to it. They are led by their perimeter shooting, Frank Mason and Devontae Graham.
Mason in the starting lineup, along with senior Landon Lucas making his second straight start in place of the injured Udoka Azubuike, the freshman sensation center, out for the season. So Kansas a little bit shorthanded to start Big 12 conference play. Here's Alex Robinson, misses from close range, and it's Kansas ball. Your officials tonight, Doug Sermons, Pat Adams, and Kip Kissinger. Josh Jackson, number 2 overall recruit, and the freshman loses it out of bounds. It'll be TCU basketball.
Oh, that's got to be the worst start possible for Kansas, for Bill Self to have Landon Lucas pick up a cheap foul the first 15 seconds of this game.
25 straight victories in Big 12 openers for the Jayhawks, including 15 on the road, and they've won 8 straight against these Horned Frogs.
Last time they did not win a conference opener was 1991 at OU. How's that for a streak?
Devontae Graham gives it up to Jackson. You'll see a lot of 4 out, 1 in for Kansas. That one is Lucas. He has 2 feet in the paint, too strong, and Kenrich Williams, Mr. Double-Double, grabs the rebound.
This TCU team is a very good rebounding team from all 5 spots on the floor.
Corner 3 is good. Kenrich Williams, averaging 10.4 points and 10 rebounds a game, opens the scoring for the Frogs.
And a 41% shooter behind the line, out there all by himself with a clean look.
Here's Jackson, off the window, too strong. That's something Bill Self said. He averages 18 points a game last 4, but he misses a lot of easy ones. Inside,
Good fade.
Brodzianski.
We watched TCU today, perimeter players and post players, tremendous number of up fakes before shots are taken.
3 possessions, 3 one-and-dones for the Jayhawks. Coming in, averaging 86.6 a game. Lucas, the offensive rebound. Here's Svi Mykhailiuk. No, follows his own shot. And a fresh 30 for Kansas. Mason's off the mark. Cold start for Bill Self's Jayhawks. Well, we mentioned Jamie Dixon at the top of our telecast, Reed. In his first season at his alma mater, he led the Southwest Conference in assists back in his senior season in 1987 for these Horned Frogs, a member of their Hall of Fame, but most of us know him as the 13-year former head coach at Pitt, where he took them to 11 NCAA tournaments in those 13 years.
And 3 Sweet 16s in those 11 appearances. What a great fit. You know, rarely does it work as well as it seems to be working right now for a player to come home and coach at his alma mater.
It was perfect timing. J.D. Miller off the mark. Here comes Mason. Kansas still looking for their first field goal. They're 0 for their first 6.
Well, Rich, we got a great matchup. J.D. Miller on Josh Jackson. Very similar build, style, athleticism. Will be a great matchup.
Graham for 3. No. Make it 0 for 7 to start for the Jayhawks. Williams. Here's Robinson, the left-hander. In and out. And Lucas is doing some early work on the boards, cleaning up. Graham the turnover. Robinson, nice pocket pass to Brodzianski. And a quick timeout on the floor. TCU out to a 7-zip start over the Jayhawks.
Now Rain-X has 2-in-1 wiper blades that treat your windshield with a water-repelling coating. And when you turn them off, something amazing happens. The water repellency keeps working. So water beads up and rolls away. Other wipers don't clear your windshield and repel water, which means Rain-X wipers help you prepare for whatever comes your way. Rain-X, outsmart the elements. Find Rain-X water repellent wipers at these retailers.
Reed, Alex Robinson leads this team in scoring, but he also leads them in assists.
Look to the left of your screen. Just as Landon Lucas comes over, there are no blue shirts anywhere to be seen. Everybody was lifted high and to the weak side. Tremendous execution by TCU.
All of us here at our ESPN family want to send our best wishes to our colleague Miles Simon. He's supposed to be here tonight. He's with his dad, Walt. Our prayers are with you guys. We know you're watching. Inside, Lucas finally gets Kansas in the scoring column. Landon Lucas, the senior out of Portland, Oregon, with the first 2 for the Jayhawks.
You know, Rich, we talked about Kansas and how reliant they are on the perimeter shooting. They cannot forego going inside and taking looks. Bill Self wants that ball inside the paint on every possession before it comes back out and settling for a jump shot.
Brodzianski, jump hook, no. Miller, the offensive board. Surrounded by Jayhawks, and he traveled. Well, Bill Self, in his 14th season in Lawrence, 24th overall, owner of 602 career wins and counting, and just about a month ago nominated for the Naismith Hall of Fame. The finalists will be announced on February 18th, and the class will be honored at the Final Four April 3rd. I asked him about it today. Of course, he blew it off and poo-pooed it and said, you got to wait till you're retired to be a Hall of Famer, but he is a Hall of Famer in every sense of the word.
Amen to that, brother. You're not very good at math, but 602 wins divided by 24 seasons, over 25 wins per season. That is a Hall of Fame resume.
And he's got 396 at Kansas. Only Fog Allen and Roy Williams have more. There's Jalen Fisher. Williams, tough shot, got fouled, and will go to the line. Well, it's been 12 straight Big 12 titles for these Jayhawks. What happened in the year before they won their first of 12? We'll tell you about it when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Daddy, can I play now?
I love you too, baby.
We get your passion. Visit a local Phillips 66, proud sponsor of the Big 12 Conference.
Looks like we're bound to start anew. Who better to start it with than you, dear?
See you next year.
This season, start a new tradition. Experience the power of Infinity now with leases starting at $319 a month. Infinity, empower the drive.
The holidays should bring joy. So why are you still putting up with complicated cashback cards? Some cards limit where you earn bonus cashback to places they choose. Then they change those places every few months. Quicksilver keeps it simple. With Quicksilver, you've always earned unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, everywhere. 'Tis the season for simple. What's in your wallet?
Well, Bill Self has coached these Kansas Jayhawks to 12 straight Big 12 titles. 7 times they've gone over the 30-win mark. They have an NCAA championship back in 2008. And when you look at that run of dominance, it's near unprecedented, Reed.
You almost run out of adjectives because you see a team have success when they have a core group of guys and they go on a great run. But we're talking about core group after core group after core group.
You go all the way back to 2004 when George W. Bush was reelected as president. Ken Jennings just beat out Reed Geddes to win the all-time lottery on Jeopardy. William Hung competed on American Idol. I never thought I would use Ryan Seacrest's name in an ESPN game. And the leader of the free world was a TV star back in 2004.
It is amazing. Along with those 12 regular season championships for Bill Self, add in 6 tournament championships with the NCAA title that you mentioned. And Boy, you know, it's gotten to where it's become a little bit political, not a little bit, a lot political when you start talking about Hall of Fame ballots and voting. But if that isn't a Hall of Fame resume, then I'm not sure what is.
Best winning percentage, 82% since his arrival in Lawrence in 2003-2004. Here's a Kansas turnover. Miller spins. He's met by the Kansas defense, and a foul is going to be called on Josh Jackson.
That is some of the athleticism of J.D. Miller we talked about, and looked like it was going to be a turnover up at the top of the key and a beautiful drop step. He picked that ball up at the top of the key, and with one drop step, ended up all the way at the rim. This kid is oozing with talent. We talked to Jamie Dixon when he got here, who surprised him, and this was at the top of his list. And he said, you know, we watched him. We didn't know that he could pass. We knew he was athletic. We knew he was versatile, but he is going to absolutely flourish under Jamie Dixon.
Averaging 8.5 coming in, the 6'8 sophomore out of nearby Dallas, Texas. 1 for 2 from the line. It's a 9-2 TCU lead.
And Kansas needs to get something inside the paint this possession and not settle for a jump shot.
Graham finds Bragg inside. Around and out. Bragg the offensive rebound. No.
Got to make that.
There's a cover on the basket on Kansas's end right now. One for 11, the Jayhawks from the field. Coming in second in the conference in field goal percentage at close to 52%. 5 on the shot clock. Brodzianski again, he has 6.
Boy, a lot of clean looks at the basket for TCU to start this game.
Brandon Parrish, number 11 in white, set to check in, as is the reigning Big 12 newcomer of the week, Desmond Bain, number 1.
You know, we watched Kansas shoot around this morning, and you could almost feel this kind of start coming. Bill was really disappointed in lack of focus and preparation, and talked to the guys about, look, when you come to work, you don't, if work starts at 11, you don't show up and start working at 11. You get mentally prepared for what's in front of you, and I know Bill was concerned with the way they prepared today.
Iowa State trailed big at home tonight in their opener against Texas Tech, shook off the rust and ended up coming back to beat the Red Raiders. Let's see if we have some of that type of play tonight for Kansas. Mason, tough shot. Boy, wanted to foul, didn't get it.
Boy, he got hit across the face when he came on the reverse side. Frank Mason still got his palms up saying, what do you got to do to get a call?
Frank Mason averaging just a shade under 20 points a game, second in the conference in scoring, first in assists. Fisher, no. Bragg, the rebound. Graham goes right at Brodzianski, and Bragg will go to the line and shoot 2.
Frank Mason, as he comes from the right side, watch him get hit across the head. Well, no, he didn't. I'll take that back. I thought he got hit across the head when he came clear, but it did not look like he got hit.
Frank Mason has led this Kansas team in scoring in 9 of their first 12 games. They're going to have to get some interior presence on offense, and Carlton Bragg is as good a candidate as any of them. He's got the first free throw in Kansas's first trip to the free throw line tonight. You talk about an un-Jayhawks-like start.
Yeah. But, and if there was a glaring area right now for improvement for the Jayhawks, it's right here. It's at the free throw line. As a team, they come into this game shooting 59%, which is last in the Big 12.
And you see Bragg go 1 for 2 from the stripe. Here's Parrish. Jalen Fisher, number 0 in white. The highest recruit ever here at TCU. Number 34 overall ESPN prospect. And there's Williams again showing the range, his second 3 of the night.
Great take. Great take by Frank Mason, just right back down the gut. Kidrich Williams, I mean, he's hit 2 threes. He shoots 41%. You cannot let him catch it with a clean look behind that 3-point line.
Here's Parrish. Yes! He was the first TCU Horned Frog out in practice today, working on exactly that shot.
Well, the largest lead of the game, and he was out here for 45 minutes shooting nothing but three-pointers.
Graham in and out, and Williams another rebound. Williams has 7 points and 4 boards already in the first half. Well, what's TCU doing right now to have this 10-point lead?
They seem to be the aggressor. They're getting on the boards right now. It seems like it's all white shirts on both ends. They're preventing Kansas from getting out and running. Jamie Dixon's team, boy, they preach rebounding like nobody I've ever heard. The flip side of that is you send so many guys to the glass. If you don't get the board, you're allowing runouts. And so far, they've done a good job of limiting those opportunities for the Jayhawks.
Here's Alex Robinson, the transfer from Texas A&M. Nice pass inside, but Kavar Shepard couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but that's the second time on a basic pick and roll. We saw it on the right wing earlier. This was in the middle of the floor after a flat screen, and the roller is wide open, and nobody's helping the helper for Kansas, and an adjustment's going to have to be made on the ball screens.
Gerald Vick, number 2 in blue, in for the first time for Bill Self. Here's Lucas.
Strong.
Splits the double team and gets it to go.
Strong, nice basket by Landon Lucas. Ended up with a switch, big, little, and good, strong step to the basket.
He had a season-high 12 rebounds last game against UNLV. But Robinson takes it right at Lucas and scores off the window. First 2 of the game for Alex Robinson. Mason. Out to Vick. 10 on the shot clock. Gerald Vick knocks down his first 3. And how about the run that he's been on from beyond the arc? 15 of his last 21 from distance.
Well, started out struggling, really struggled behind the line, but since that time has just been automatic, up to 46% for the season.
Here's Parrish again. Woo. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc for Brandon Parrish, and it's still a 10-point Frog lead. And the crowd's into it. Well, Brandon Parrish having a very successful start to this night. He also had a terrific summer that we'll tell you about as well, with a nod to Jennifer Love Hewitt. I know what you did last summer.
That must have been some sale, Patty.
Jim just had to have it. We saved hundreds. You?
I had to have this.
Wow.
Love all of this.
It lights up everything.
This holiday season, see your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Celebrate the holidays with the new GMC. Current lessees switch to GMC and get this low-mileage lease on this 2017 Acadia SLE1 for around $299 per month. GMC, we are professional grade.
There's your beautiful baby. Any day now.
You're eating Doritos? Really? Give me that.
Men's Warehouse rings in the new year with an additional 60% off clearance. Plus 9-iron dress shirts are 3 for $99. Designer suits are $2 for $49. And buy one, get one free on great looks store-wide. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
There he is. What's up, Miles? Blue, this is Miles. Miles, Blue.
Great party, man. Better game days call for better pizza.
And now get 2 large pizzas with any choice of 2 toppings for just $8 each. That's 2 large 2-topping pizzas for only $8 each.
Better ingredients.
Better pizza.
Papa John's.
TCU looking to pull an epic upset to start Big 12 conference play. The first ever sellout inside Schollmeyer Arena, 22-12 over the number 3 Kansas Jayhawks. And Brandon Parrish has 2 3-pointers already in the first half. But it was this summer that really changed his life, Reed.
If these are not the coolest pictures you've ever seen, got a chance to participate in a study abroad program at a rhinoceros conservation camp, South Africa. You and I got a chance to talk to him about his experiences. Have you ever seen a kid light up with excitement the way Brandon Parrish did?
He loved recounting the story, spent 3 weeks in South Africa. He's an environmental sciences major. He said he's loved animals as long as he could remember. He actually has a couple of animals, a bearded dragon named Cuervo, and he has a dog, a husky, that he says is the most beautiful dog you've ever seen, named Rio. So he is planning for his future, not only in basketball here in Fort Worth, but for the future as well. And whatever life takes him, it's going to involve animals in some way.
You're looking at the next Steve Irwin. He wants to have his own reality show. Got to participate in a dehorning of a rhinoceros. It was spectacular getting a chance to talk to this young man. And again, I'm telling you, his eyes lit up. This young man understands his purpose, his calling, what he's meant to do. And man, he is as focused a young man as you'll meet in college.
And you know what, Reed? He's almost the symbol of this new era of TCU basketball. Started all 33 games last year, but didn't make a noise when Jamie Dixon said, you know what, you're going to come off the bench for us instead this year. He's bought in 100%.
Looked at us and said, I'm savoring every second of this because I could never repay this university for the opportunities. He goes, I got to go to Johannesburg. I got to go to Cape Town. We're talking about bucket list, things that a lot of people never get to do in life, and a very appreciative young man.
9 minutes gone by. Frank Mason has 6. And now it's a 22-14 TCU lead.
You know, Kansas, this is not a good start, but not unusual for them. Bill Self told us we can look really bad for a little while, and then we can turn around and go on a 24-4 run in the blink of an eye. And that is the kind of run that the Jayhawks need right now.
Jackson tried to force it inside of Mason, who had made the steal on the other end of the floor. It'll stay Kansas basketball.
You know, nobody year after year is better on baseline out of bounds scoring plays than the Kansas Jayhawks.
Here's the lob, and Jackson with the throwdown. First 2 of the night for the freshman sensation, Josh Jackson, out of Detroit, Michigan, averaging 18 a game his last 4. And an offensive foul, we're going the other way. We might be witnessing the first of a Kansas Jayhawks run right now.
I don't know, you know, I've watched Bill Self's teams do this for years, and baseline out of bounds, I don't know whether you have 2-3 them like most people do. If you go man-to-man, all I know is they're not looking to get the ball in bounds. They're looking to score. They get 10 points a game on baseline out of bounds plays. That's a big number.
Graham calls his own number and knocks it down. And all of a sudden, the Jayhawks have come alive on offense. A 9-3 Kansas run has them right back in this game, down by just 4. Inside, Brodzianski missed the left hand.
Holy cow, Kenrich Williams. Who came in from the 3-point line.
Robinson hangs and hits the friendly bounce on the home court. Mason, pull up. Yes, that's senior leadership.
Yeah, all set up with a terrific up fake. Got Alex Robinson completely off balance and then settled for the mid-range jump shot.
He's a true coach on the floor. We watched their shoot around today. Sat right next to Frank, and he was calling out the plays before the assistants were. The college football playoff semifinal Saturday on ESPN. It all starts at 3 Eastern. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl pitting number 4 Washington against number 1 Alabama, and that's followed by Ohio State taking on Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl at 7 Eastern. Jake Browning, 42 touchdowns going up against that number 1 Alabama defense, 25 consecutive wins. Got any predictions for us, Mr. Geddes?
Alabama, Alabama, Alabama. I went and watched them play a game in Tuscaloosa this year against Mississippi State, and man, what a machine. I mean, I know those other 3. I think any of the 3 can beat them. Do I think they will? No.
Both games should be thrilling. Some good college football coming up on New Year's Eve day, but We've got the nightcap in the Big 12 opener right now, and it's turning out to be a good one. Kansas has made their last 5 field goals and 6 of their last 7 after a frigid start here in Fort Worth.
Good defense by Kavar Shepard in on Carlton Bragg.
Vic, he's 2 for 2. Backdoor, Williams. Good interior defense by the Jayhawks. Here's Mason. And Jamie Dixon can't believe it, but the foul is called on the Horned Frogs. That's going to go on Alex Robinson.
A lot of people thought that was a travel before the foul. Frank Mason with a big step and looping the ball over the head of Alex Robinson, and a lot of people wanted a travel before the contact.
Mason at the line, 71% on the season. He's a perfect 3 for 3 so far.
Coming right into your living room, you see him take the ball. Yeah, that's a good call. Absolutely was a foul, and nice job of Frank Mason playing like James Harden, swinging the ball over the top of the defender's arms and drawing the contact. I want to go back to something you talked about earlier, the scouting report, watching Frank Mason and Devontae Graham. They were sitting right next to us, and they were like the little smart dudes in class, you know, sit up front and answer all the questions. I've never seen 2 kids more engaged in a scouting report and knew the answer to every single question the coaching staff asked.
They are locked in.
Boy, they are locked in. It was amazing watching them.
Is there a better backcourt in the country than those 2?
Not that I can think of. Not that's playing better than those 2 right now.
Shepard tried to force it inside. There's a turnover. Chance to tie or take the lead for the Jayhawks.
Beautiful.
Vic ties it up. And timeout on the floor from Jamie Dixon. 7 points for Vic, and Kansas is right back in this with 8:08 to go. There's Graham and the backcourt of the Jayhawks doing work to get back in this game on the road.
Not everyone speaks Sriracha.
Sriracha.
But when a fan says Sriracha! They want a Sriracha chicken sandwich with Sriracha Jack cheese, Sriracha infused aioli, and a Sriracha bun. Wendy's spicy Sriracha chicken sandwich for a limited time.
He played college football in high school. He is the most interesting man in the world.
Stay thirsty, mis amigos.
Looks like we're bound to start anew. Who better to start it with than you, dear?
See you next year.
This season, start a new tradition. Experience the power of infinity now with leases starting at $319 a month. Infinity. Empower the drive.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-898-1341. Again, that's 1-800-898-1341.
26-26 in the Big 12 opener for the number 3 Jayhawks and the TCU Horned Frogs from Fort Worth. Take us inside the play, Reed.
Well, what makes this play work? Watch Josh Jackson. He comes over and he sets a screen. Landon Lucas sells out, and watch how hard he goes. And it drags Brodzianski. Watch, drags him all the way out of the paint because Landon Lucas is selling out on that cut. It opens up the entire paint, and Landon Lucas is the one who should get credit for that basket.
Bill Self, one of the best coaches in special teams, those out-of-bounds plays, those end-of-clock plays.
Yeah, but you know, you end up watching the guy who throws the pass or the guy who sets the screen, and a lot of times it's the guy who's cutting hard who sells out and really isn't a part of the play until you go back and break it down.
A 10-point TCU lead has been erased. We're tied at 26. Not any longer. Williams with the bucket.
TCU going to a 2-3 zone.
Something that Jamie Dixon likes to show once in a while.
Yeah, they work on it. You got to look down low. Landon Lucas is down there running around the short corner and was really open.
Good hands by Williams, but he traveled with the ball. And that's right in front of Jamie Dixon. Well, you could start off your New Year's Eve with two exciting bowl games starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Georgia Tech taking on Kentucky in the Tech Slayer Bowl. Then at 7 Eastern, you get to see the Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson and the Louisville Cardinals take on number 20 LSU in the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl.
Jamie Dixon's upset. Kenrich Williams did travel, but he was pushed. He went up and got that ball and two hands on his chest and was just shoved out of bounds.
Extra possession for the Jayhawks. They have not led in this game until now. First lead for the Jayhawks, courtesy of that Svi Mikhailuk three.
Well, big shot by Mikhailuk. I mean, he had Kenrich Williams right on him, step back, and I thought he almost thought the shot clock was lower than it actually was. It was a big-time basket.
And he's become such a more well-rounded player. That used to be the only thing he could do. Brodzianski showing the full array, but it's off to the left and Bragg grabs it. Sense maybe there's a little danger time for the Horned Frogs.
A nice adjustment by Jamie Dixon just to show him something different defensively.
Bragg, no. Lucas, offensive rebound. Here's Graham, the spot up.
Good
Lucas
rebound.
again.
Good rebound.
Here's Mikhailuk, and Brodzianski erases it. Fisher, and the freshman traveled, says Pat Adams. That's the 7th Horned Frogs turnover.
I love this new rule where they're allowing centers, secondary defenders to leave their feet inside the restricted arc and contest shots. As long as you maintain the principle of verticality, Jamie Dixon's got Brodzianski contesting shots as a secondary defender, going straight up in the air, and that's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen it in this game, and as effective as anyone I've seen this season, both teams at contesting shots.
Interesting, you mentioned Brodzianski, the big man, number 12. He's a 6'11" junior, and you see Jamie Dixon wants him to be a rim protector on defense, and he wants him to be a rebounder on offense. He loves to shoot threes, but they said, no. We are forbidding you from stepping out behind the arc and shooting threes. You're a post presence inside.
Well, has only attempted 4 all year, hasn't made it, but that replay you saw, he was clearly inside the restricted arc, but went straight up. He dropped his arm a little bit, but didn't make contact. I like that new rule.
The lob, and Lucas pays it off.
Nice back screen that time by Carlton Bragg to free up Landon Lucas.
Frank Mason first in the conference with 5.8 assists a game. That was a pretty dime right there to Lucas.
Now, Rich, his last 6, he's had a 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That is outstanding.
Lucas with the foul on Brodzianski on the other end. That's his 2nd. And that's one major concern by Bill Self is his bigs getting in foul trouble.
Now watch to the right of your screen. You see a nice back screen on Brodzianski, and that's X5. He's playing a 2-3 zone in the middle of the defensive player, and Carlton Bragg just jams his body up against him, and there's nobody on the baseline to match up with Landon Lucas. If I play a zone against Kansas, I don't stay in it very long.
Right.
Boy, I think it's effective if you switch, run it 2 or 3 times, and then get out of it. But don't let them get in their sets.
Brodzianski 3 for 3 tonight, make it 4 for 4 from the stripe. That ends a 19-6 run by the Jayhawks.
A little full court pressure off the made free throw. Staying in the 2-3 zone.
How do you beat the 2-3 zone?
Yeah, short corner, and they're going to throw a lot of lobs, but ideally you want to hit them at the elbow or the short corner, or have somebody jump up and knock down a 25-foot jump shot.
Like Mikhailuk just did, his second 3 of the night.
He's one of those guys that the ball leaves his hand and you just expect it to go in.
Svi's dad is in attendance tonight. He makes an annual trip to watch his son play. Believe it or not, he's actually younger than Josh Jackson. He turned 19 in June.
Yeah, that's a perspective check.
Still just a youngster.
Wow. He's oozing with talent. We talked to a couple NBA scouts before the game, and they said this is one of those guys that may not be a lottery pick first round, but one of those guys that has a skill that translates to the next level.
And you know, skill development was something that he learned at Kansas. Mason heating up. He's got 12 in the first half. Largest lead of the game for the Jayhawks. 36-30, and a timeout called by Jamie Dixon.
Now, Dixon's furious right now. You cannot pick up Frank Mason at the elbow. If you wait to the elbow to stop his penetration, you've given up a basket, because Frank Mason is so calm and poised as he comes down. You've got to pick him up, push him off of his spot, change his angle outside the three-point line. Watch how deep he gets. He gets all the way to the elbow and still hasn't met any resistance. And Frank Mason will kill you if you let him get to that spot on the floor.
Mason scored 18 or more in 10 of the 12 Kansas games this year. Already has a couple of 30-point efforts, scored 30 in their opener against Indiana, scored 30 against UMKC. That was the night that Bill Self got his 600th win.
Second in the Big 12 behind only Juwan Evans at Oklahoma State. And again, we talked about it in the open. Only one player in the Bill Self era has ever averaged more points than Frank Mason is right now, and that was Wayne Simeon. That's going back some ways. Much better defense on the pick and roll that time by Carlton Bragg.
And J.D. Miller has his first field goal of the night, a three-pointer. He's got 4, and TCU's within 3.
Well, that's the right reaction. You've got to help on the roll, but you've got to close out quicker than that.
Coming up on 4.5 to go in an entertaining first half. The Big 12 opener for the number 3 Jayhawks and the upstart TCU Horned Frogs. Good spin move and finish by Lucas, who has 8.
And good no call.
And he's contributing on the offensive end. But Bill Self, he loves what Landon Lucas does. He didn't really doesn't score. He said he might not score a lot, but he has a lot to do with us scoring.
Well, and we listened to him, and he said, I want the ball going inside the paint on every possession. Before we do anything else, I want that ball to touch paint.
Brodzianski stepped outside and knocked it down. Double digits for Brodzianski with 12.
If you're Kansas, don't you keep going back to Landon Lucas inside?
A little two-man game, Lucas and Mason. Bragg from the wing. This is a completely different Kansas offense than we saw in the first 7-8 minutes.
You know, that's exactly what Bill Self told us this afternoon. He said, we'll go 6 or 7 minutes and look really bad, and then we'll turn around for 3 minutes and we'll look really good. We are in that really good zone.
25 consecutive Big 12 opening victories, and Brodzianski has been the best player on the floor for TCU. 14 with a chance to make it 15 for the big Vlad Brodzianski from Slovakia. Splitting the defenders.
What a shot.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
Come on, you crash the glass, you own the paint, that's how you protect your house.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Come on. You crash the glass?
Yeah.
And you own the paint?
Yeah.
That's how you protect your house.
Talk to an agent for help combining your home and auto into a plan that's right for you. Here to help life go right. State Farm.
Looks like we're bound to start anew. Who better to start it with than you, dear?
See you next year.
This season, start a new tradition. Experience the power of infinity now with leases starting at $319 a month. Infinity. Empower the drive.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
The playoff is here.
Touchdown, Huskies!
Alabama's been absolutely unstoppable.
Then,
Ohio State wins!
Clemson's offense is on another level.
the college football playoff semifinals, tomorrow on ESPN.
Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg coming up at the Land Rover halftime report. We're going to look at the two top challengers for Kansas and how tough they were tonight.
I like the way TCU was attacking the rim, kicking it out for open threes. Reminds me of Reed Getty's getting in the lane and knocking it out to Benny Anders.
Back in Houston, they were pretty good back then. Back to you guys.
Thanks, AK. Well, you talk about the Big 12 and what happened today. A couple of surprising blowouts. Jonathan Motley's 19 points. He had a double-double, and they went down to Norman and just took the Sooners to the woodshed.
Well, let's put an asterisk on that and mention that Jordan Woodard did not play in that game, and Daxter Miles and the Mountaineers, man, did they look good today. I mean, absolutely just blitzed Oklahoma State in Stillwater, and they were like a tornado. I mean, it was unbelievable, the energy that West Virginia's playing with.
And Iowa State trailed by double digits at the half in Hilton Arena, but that Hilton Magic came back and they held off a good Texas Tech team. This is going to be a much better, deeper Big 12 than I think we've seen in quite some time. Think about the bottom part of the league last year. These TCU Horned Frogs and the Texas Tech Red Raiders, those are both much improved teams.
This is a Horned Frog program. They expect to be in the top 6 or 7 and when all this ends. And boy, they haven't talked like that in Fort Worth since ever. Good pass.
On the floor, and that's the kind of effort that Jamie Dixon demands from his Horned Frogs.
Carlton Bragg plays hard, and he's there, and he's got good energy. And boy, every time you think he's got a gimme where he's just going to pick it up and dunk it, for some reason he misses or he bobbles or doesn't handle it clean. And that was a tough pass, a good pass, but boy, I tell you what, Bill Self would have liked to have seen that one come up clean. Kid's playing hard.
Carlton Bragg now with 2 fouls. Lucas has 2. And Michael Williams knocks down the front end of a 1-and-1 to give him 3. And he could tie it up if he hits the next one.
Well, that's his season average. Has not been playing a lot and has been perfect from the free throw line so far this year.
And we are tied at 40 with under 3 to go in the first half. From sold-out Schollmeyer Arena, the first sellout ever in this building, and the Horned Frogs are performing. Doug Sermons waves it off and says the foul's going to be on the floor.
This is the first time I've seen LeGerald Vick play this season in person, and man, does he look good. He catches that ball out on the wing, and he gets that inside shoulder dip down low and long strides, and he gets by you in the blink of an eye.
And he's rocking the short shorts.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that an homage to you?
I think LeGerald and I are the only guys that can rock the short shorts.
It's going back to Phi Slamma Jamma days.
Is that sweet?
Carlton Bragg's wearing them too, but he's got the long leggings, so you can't really tell.
He's halfway committed. He's not fully committed to it.
Williams to the bench. Alex Robinson checking back in for Jamie Dixon's club. Gerald Vick already has more field goals made, more threes, and more free throws than he had all of last year.
And for a team that struggles shooting free throws, Gerald Vick has been outstanding from the free throw line, and I guarantee Bill Self would like to see him continue to attack the rim and get more free throw opportunities.
9 for 11 this season is Vick from the stripe. Here's Williams. Nothing but air. Mikhailuk, travel.
Hey, Brodzianski did a really nice job that time. He's trailing defensively in transition. Frank Mason was on the right side. He started to float back to the middle. You see Bill Self saying, come back to the other side. Brodzianski was the guy who spread out and showed himself and stopped that ball from reversing sides in transition. And nice job by Brodzianski in transition defense.
And some situational substitution for Jamie Dixon, putting Mike Williams back in on the offensive end.
Little confusion by TCU right now what they want to run, a horn set.
Fisher, wild shot, ill-advised.
Yeah, that was a bad shot. Good patience.
Kansas has been lights out from the field, 15 of their last 19 field goals. And here's Graham. Lucas just crushing it on the boards. And Vic pays it off with a three.
A tremendous rebounding effort by Landon Lucas. He got that rebound. He started at the top of the key, set a flat screen beyond the three-point line and got that rebound.
Williams, no. Brodzianski can't get the tip.
Watch where Landon Lucas starts this play and look where he ends up. He set a flat screen up beyond the top of the key, and look at him. He's down on the baseline, the only blue jersey down there. Well, that is a winning effort by Landon Lucas.
I don't know what's gotten into Lucas, but he had 12 rebounds their last game on the road at UNLV. He already has 8 tonight.
Young man who understands his role on this team.
Gets the ball in the post. And they're going to call him for the travel.
I think they called 3 seconds, and if he'd have gone up, they wouldn't have called 3 seconds, but as soon as he looked out to the perimeter, that was the correct call.
And again, quick substitutions on the whistles. The point guards being traded out. Robinson now in, and Williams to the bench. What do you think they're going to look for right now in this set?
I don't know. I would look for a penetrating kick out to a 3. And well, TCU doing all this without Jalen Fisher really getting going yet in this game. And he averages 11 points per game, but really has been a non-factor here in the first half.
Second on the team in scoring, second on the team in assists. Hasn't gotten in the scoring column yet. That foul was on LeGerald Vick, and that'll send Kenrich Williams to the line shooting.
You know, we talk so much about Frank Mason and Devontae Graham's offensive role this year, and you tend to forget just how good they are defensively. They can take a guard and take him out of the game, and that's what they've done so far to Jalen Fisher.
And this young man at the line, Kenrich Williams, a 6'7" junior out of Waco, Texas. A lot of times a coach takes over a program and he'll tell you off to the side, I got to wait to get my guys in. This is one of Jamie Dixon's guys.
That's right. He claimed him real quick.
Yeah.
He is my kind of guy. He is a walking double-double. Already 4 double-doubles this season.
TCU within 3. They've led for most of this first half. 40 seconds to go in the first.
Good pass.
Here's Graham. And another 3 goes down.
Yeah, but that basket, Landon Lucas, give him credit for the pin down screen to free up that shot.
5 3-pointers in the first half for the Jayhawks. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. And there's Williams underneath. He's in double digits.
Boy, I'd run a double team at Frank Mason and try to take that ball out of his hands.
Mason, too strong. Lucas got the offensive board, but time runs out in the first half. That shot will not count. But what an entertaining first half it was. Kansas, in the first step towards a possible 13th straight Big 12 title, is getting their hands full with these TCU Horned Frogs. The Jayhawks lead it by 4 at the break, 48-44, as we send it back to studio. Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg.
And welcome inside our Land Rover halftime report. Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg here. Let's stay in the Big 12. Texas Tech taking on Iowa State, and the Red Raiders had not won in Ames since 2011, but they had a 10-point lead at the half, Seth.
Yeah, this is an experienced Texas Tech team, but I love the way Iowa State committed themselves on the defensive end, got stops, finished the game on a 29-6 run. Monte Morris and Naz Long, as they go, so will the Cyclones.
And they dominate the highlights here. The veteran leadership of those two guards are what are going to carry Iowa State throughout the course of the Big 12. Morris finishing with 14, Long with 19. Iowa State went on a 29-8 run to close out this game.
And Morris makes the game so much easier for everyone, and you got Matt Thomas knocking down jumpers. If they can get consistent front court play, they're going to be in the top 4 of the Big 12, and they're going to be in the NCAA tournament.
Well, the reigning champ for a dozen years have been the Kansas Jayhawks. They were down 7-0 to TCU in the opener for both schools in the Big 12, 19-9, and then what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what, I love the way that TCU approached this basketball game because they were the aggressor. They attacked. They brought the game to Kansas. They got in the lane off this high ball screen, draw second defenders. There's no rim protection for Kansas, and all of a sudden, Kendrick Williams, he averages a double-double, but he can shoot the 3. Alex Robinson, the Texas A&M transfer, taking it right to the front of the rim. Aggressive, attacking, not playing on your heels, but putting Kansas on their heels. And then terrific spacing right there. And Parrish knocks down the 3. It's the mindset that TCU has brought to this basketball game. No rim protection for Kansas. Attack people off the bounce. That high ball screen. Either turn the corner, get to the rim, or kick out for 3. Now, having said that, you're playing Kansas. You've got to figure out a way to contain Frank Mason, because Frank Mason makes play after play for himself and for others. Complete Kansas team, but I love the approach of Jamie Dixon. He said it to me today. They're not rebuilding. They're here to try to compete and win basketball games. His approach is working.
All right, we'll see what happens at the beginning of the second half. And hey, Kansas fans, stay with us here on the Land Rover halftime report, because you're going to see two teams that are ready to challenge the Jayhawks for the Big 12 title. Baylor and West Virginia. We'll be right back.
Where are they going?
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Amazing things can happen during the playoffs. See, we told you so. Get 2 large 2-topping Papa John's pizzas for $8 each. And try our new stuffed cheese sticks for just $5 each.
Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 51.
Hey, we're doing the wave! Take it off of me!
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet.
All right, you missed it, buddy. That's all good.
And much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
Why do some cashback cards make earning bonus cashback so complicated? They limit where you can earn bonus cashback to a few places, and those places keep changing every few months. The Quicksilver card from Capital One doesn't do any of that. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Leave complicated behind. What's in your wallet?
Rusty Eck Ford is bringing back the Black Friday deals for one day, the final Friday of 2016. Friday the 30th, you'll find cars for $1. Yes, cars for $9.99, $19.99, and $39.99. Rusty Eck Ford will be showcasing every vehicle on the lot with the most insane price of the year. 30 cars on the lot priced under $5,000, $15,000 off brand new F-150s. Get there early for the best selection on dollar cars, only at Rusty Eck Ford, 7310 East Kellogg.
So, you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So, pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree?
Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. And all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-791-9211.
You're watching the Land Rover Halftime Report.
Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg back here in studio. Baylor taking on Oklahoma. Seth, and the Bears hammered Oklahoma, kind of the way Villanova did in the Final Four. How did it happen?
This is a complete basketball team. They're connected offensively and defensively. They can attack you in the paint, in transition. And Manuel Kant has done a terrific job orchestrating this offense.
Yeah, the transfer from Miami. Jonathan Motley, though, he had his fourth double-double of the season, 19-13, 13-0 Baylor. That ties the second time their best start in school history.
I like that they can guard you in man. They can play that 1-1-3. They can start passing lanes. This is a very good basketball team.
All right, Kansas fans, you watching? If Baylor can't challenge Kansas, another team certainly can. West Virginia, we think both can. Look at the way West Virginia handled Oklahoma State defensively. Seth, how did they get it done?
Forced 19 turnovers. They're so active. They're engaged in the play. They're connected. They get deflections, and when they get deflections, they're out and running. This is the most improved passing team in college basketball. Last year, they turned it over 20% of their possessions. This year, only 13%. They're unselfish, they make enough shots, and they come at you in waves.
Yeah, West Virginia shot 55% from the field because a lot of them were inside layups like that on their fast break. All right, Texas taking on Kansas State. The Longhorns have struggled in the non-conference, just lost to Kent State. K-State, kind of a soft non-conference schedule. This game in Manhattan. And look, Dean Wade had himself a first half. He had 17 points. What's going on with Texas right here?
Right now, Texas is a very young basketball team. They have no guard play. They get no easy baskets. They're playing an experienced Kansas State team that is really solid on the defensive end, and offensively, they're in terrific motion.
And Kamau Stokes, he's been hitting a little bit of everything.
Wesley Rondo is one of the tougher matchups in the Big 12.
Wildcats, they're up 7. All right, let's shift to the Big 10. Michigan State taking on Northwestern. Miles Bridges still has not played 6 games without him yet. They were able to hold off Northwestern. How?
Michigan State's starting 3 freshmen, and Cassius Winston is playing an absolutely high level. He can get to the rim, he shoots the basketball, he sees plays before they happen, and Nick Ward's giving Michigan State a legitimate low-post scorer. This team right now playing very well. Alvin Ellis, senior, playing well.
Tom Izzo said after the game, no timetable yet on Miles Bridges. He did warm up, still out with that ankle injury. All right, South Carolina taking on Memphis. And look, the Carolina Gamecocks still without Sedarius Thornhill. 6 games they've gone without him.
And they had 11 turnovers in the first half. You can't win on the road turning over 11 times in the first half. Memphis is up despite the loss of brothers. They don't have a field goal yet.
And South Carolina has lost 2 games without Thornwell so far in those 6 that they've been missing him. 31-28 Memphis up on South Carolina. All right, the big question is, can TCU start to get a little bit of a comeback going at the beginning of the second half against Kansas? We'll see. Stay with us here on the Land Rover Halftime Report.
The season of adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Matt, NFL 17.
Wild horses, wild horses, wild horses, run faster, run faster, run faster. Run faster.
Rated E for everyone. Get the new Xbox One S.
I really did save hundreds of dollars on my car insurance with Geico. I should take a closer look at Geico.
Geico has a long history of great savings and great service. Over 75 years.
Wait, 75 years? That is great.
Speaking of great, check out these hot riffs. You like Smash Mouth?
Yeah, I have an early day tomorrow, so.
Wait, Almost there.
Good night, Bruce.
I gotta tune the A. Me.
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
There he is. What's up, Miles? Blue, this is Miles. Miles, Blue.
Great party, man. Better game days call for better pizza.
And now get 2 large pizzas with any choice of 2 toppings for just $8 each. That's 2 large 2-topping pizzas for only $8 each.
Better ingredients.
Better pizza.
Papa John's.
Men's Warehouse rings in the new year with an additional 60% off clearance. Plus 9-iron dress shirts are 3 for $99. Designer suits are $249. And buy one, get one free on great looks store-wide. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
This halftime report is presented by Land Rover, above and beyond.
Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg back in studio. Let's go down to the Orange Bowl. Michigan taking on Florida State. And Jim Harbaugh did not have Jabril Peppers, his best defensive player. He was out and injured for this game. But take a look here. DeAndre Francois, after getting sacked right before that, 92 yards to Naquan Murray, who had fumbled a punt return earlier. He goes for the touchdown, 17-3. Florida State over Michigan there. Oh, it's now 20-6. We can now update the score at the half. Couple other scores from bowl games earlier today. The SEC goes to 3-4, and Stanford, no Christian McCaffrey, no problem, edging out North Carolina. All right, coming up here at the top of the half, we're going to have Arizona taking on Cal. What do you like in this one?
Rawley Elkins, Kobe Simmons, and Larry Marketing, 3 freshmen for Arizona, playing at a very high level. Ivan Rabb up front for Cal, hard to handle.
So second game for the Pac-12. It is the opening night for the Big 12. Josh Jackson, one of the top freshmen in the country. You've been watching the Land Rover Halftime Report.
And we'll be right back after this timeout.
Okay, let's go. Hunting groceries.
Leave it!
We get your passion. Visit a local Phillips 66, proud sponsor of the Big 12 Conference.
Oh, Mike. Hey. It's quite the snowman you got there.
Yeah, it was quite the sale. I saved big. You?
Saved huge. And mine lights up, too.
This holiday season, see your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get nearly $9,700 total value on select specially equipped brand new 2017 Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock. GMC, we are professional grade.
I've been playing basketball since I was 5. Growing up, my parents, they always held me to a high standard in the classroom. I actually ended up graduating in the top 25% of my class. I feel like a lot of people are uneducated about wildlife. If I can be that voice for someone that can't talk, I mean, I can fulfill my purpose in life. Choosing to go to TCU was the best decision of my life. Giving somebody the opportunity to make their dreams come true is so fulfilling in itself. You got basketball, but this is forever. My name is Brandon Parrish, and I'm a champion for life.
Kansas works. We grow, build, teach, innovate, and more. From the soil to the sky, our efforts help create better lives for ourselves, our families, and our communities. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas understands we're here to serve you, our fellow Kansans, by making access to health care as easy and carefree as possible. Working for Kansas workers since 1942. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas.
Today, the economic storms are raging and the foundations of everything are being tested. And as recent news headlines reveal, the world economy has never looked shakier. And gold, the world's oldest and most trusted form of money, is also grabbing headlines. Now is the time to put your future on a rock-solid foundation. Discover the timeless truth about gold and silver by calling Swiss America or visiting online at SwissAmerica.com.
Back in Fort Worth, Texas, inside the Schollmeyer Arena on the campus of Texas Christian University, TCU, giving the number 3 Jayhawks all they can handle, but it's Kansas 48-44 as we head to the second half. Inside Schollmeyer Arena alongside Reed Geddes, I'm Rich Hollenberg. TCU started this game as well as you could have expected from Jamie Dixon's club. They had a 10-point lead at one point in the first half, and then Kansas mounted a comeback. But how did the Horned Frogs start off so hot?
They were executing so well, and uncharacteristic of Kansas, they weren't very good defensively. And so early on, pick and rolls especially, look how wide open that lane is. And then when help did come, it was late. And a lot of easy, clean looks, uncharacteristic. And then all of a sudden, Kansas makes an adjustment. They get weak side help, gets there earlier. They close out harder. They make this adjustment, and then, man, they just took off and locked down the paint. Suddenly the rotation was on time. When TCU kicked the ball out, they got a high hand out and really changed the first half with their defense.
Bill Self's team has won 25 straight Big 12 openers. They have an 11-game win streak coming into this game, which is 7th longest in the country, and they're playing like it. They started 1 for 13 from the field, but since then, 17 for 23. Overall, they're shooting 50% from the field, including 5 for 13 from 3.
Yeah, is that crazy? I mean, 1 for 13, that's 8%, and then the rest of the half, they shoot 74%. You can win some basketball games on the road shooting 74%.
J.B. Miller.
Nice box out. Now that's Kenrich Williams, and he comes flying in from the outside, and that time Mikhailuk did a nice job of putting his backside on Williams. Nice job by Mikhailuk.
Interesting to note that 2 really highly regarded freshmen playing in this game. Number 11, Josh Jackson for Kansas, 0 for TCU, Jalen Fisher. Neither has really affected the game that much. Jackson has 2 points, Fisher scoreless. Is that a welcome to the Big 12 conference play moment?
Yeah, it is. You know, he's done a nice job handling the ball, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, but boy, just has not looked very good offensively when he's not passing the ball.
Jackson misses from close range.
Yeah, but the Josh Jackson one, that really surprises me. Good
Robinson,
move.
the blow by. Alex Robinson has 6.
Alex Robinson started his career at Texas A&M, transferred, and got a waiver to be eligible at the beginning of this year. And
look at Lucas with the spin on the block.
They don't go to Landon Lucas enough. You know, he's one of those guys we always talk about the intangibles. The tangibles are pretty good as well. A double-double already, and 5 offensive rebounds. Landon Lucas has been outstanding.
5th career double-double for Landon Lucas. Here's Brodzianski from the elbow. No, and Lucas has another rebound.
Yeah, his energy level is off the charts tonight.
Little duck under from Mason, no. Lucas.
Look at Lucas.
Energy and effort.
It's almost the only blue shirt down there, and we talk about setting screens and being physical. He has been terrific in the first half, had 5 offensive rebounds, already a double-double, and he's done plenty of the intangibles, but again, the point production, and if I'm Kansas, boy, I continue to go to him and let him have a career night.
Brodzianski is 0 for 2 to start the second half after pouring in 15 in the first.
Good defense.
Transition 3, not that time. And the foul's gonna go on Jackson. And he better be careful,
he got it.
And he got a tee. Kip Kissinger isn't putting up with that. Josh Jackson whistled for the tee, and Norm Roberts better be careful.
Boy, and Bill Self is just going ballistic. He's real close to picking up another one. You know, it's the same call they called down on the other end where Kenrich Williams was called over the back, almost the possession before that. But, boy, Bill Self's having none of that, and he just picked up a technical.
Now back-to-back technicals called on the Jayhawks. First on the freshman Jackson, and then on Bill Self.
That may have been Bill Self just taking up for his freshman and letting him know I got your back, but that's now 4 fouls on Josh Jackson, the foul over the back and then the technical, and boy, that has a potential to be a game changer here with 18:07 to go in the second half.
Brodzianski 5 for 5 from the line, make it 6 for 6. And here's what the kerfuffle was about.
Well, I don't know. You know, just because you go over somebody's back doesn't mean it's a foul. You have to get on somebody's back, and that's what Bill Self's saying is the rebound came long. Brodzianski has his arms down below his waist, and that may be what Self is so mad at, but regardless, you can't show up the officials. You can't come out and demonstrably slam the ball down when everybody's looking. That's going to be a technical 10 times out of 10, and you see the frustration right here, and you just can't do that.
And he almost got away with it. Bill Self was talking to Pat Adams, so Pat didn't see that.
Yeah.
But Kip Kissinger, good job out of him right at midcourt. Wasn't putting.
Did you think that was a foul over the back?
I thought so.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things, you see someone go over the back and you automatically inhale, you anticipate, but you can go over somebody's back, you just can't go on somebody's back. Oh boy, Bill Self's close to getting his second one.
Veteran officiating crew tonight. Lucas another rebound. Great outlet to Svi. Vic was hot in the first half. Misses his first shot of the second half. And Williams has another rebound.
Good pass.
Here's Miller. Both teams starting a little chilly in the second half. Mason working on the freshman. And the foul's going to go on TCU. That foul's going to be on the freshman, Jalen Fisher, his first.
Patrick Adams, you see him up there at the top of your screen, still having a conversation with Bill Self.
Frank Mason had 12 points in the first half, steps to the line to shoot 2. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe tonight.
And 5 assists and 0 turnovers in the first half for Bill Self's leader, Frank Mason.
As you mentioned, his last 5 games coming into tonight, 40 assists and just 9 turnovers.
Yeah, 4 to 1 assist turnover ratio. That is outstanding. And especially from a kid averaging 20 points per game.
He's got 14 tonight, and the Kansas lead is 3, 52-49. Kansas looking to improve to 12-1 and 1-0 in the Big 12. They would join West Virginia with an identical record. They won their 12th game of the season earlier today.
Jalen Fisher frustrated, but that was clearly a travel. He up-faked. Instead of the knees going down, his knees went up and lifted that pivot foot up off the ground.
Fisher out of Arlington, Tennessee. Played AAU ball with LeGerald Vick, number 2 in blue from Memphis. Graham, easy path to the basket, and he missed it.
Brandon Lucas is an absolute beast tonight.
And Mikhailuk working the boards, but gets called for the foul. And Jamie Dixon right in front of us is exhorting his team, block out. It's the first thing he talked to them about in practice.
Rebound, rebound, rebound. And then he pulls them together and he goes, listen, we got to rebound, rebound, rebound. I've never heard a coach in practice emphasize rebounding the way this new TCU coaching staff emphasizes it.
They average 38.2 boards a game, a +6 average against their opponents.
Well, they were -7 rebounding in the first half.
Brodzianski. Robinson, left hand, no.
Golly, Kenrich Williams, you've got to box him out. Mikhailuk did a great job the first possession of the second half, but that's twice he's come in from about 25 feet to get an offensive rebound.
Nice feed from Fisher to Brodzianski.
Good no call. Frank Mason had his hand in the middle of Brodzianski's back, and I was afraid he was going to get a cheap one. Oh, my.
Mason all the way, got fouled, and will go to the line.
I don't know what Alex Robinson was looking at. He's out there supposed to be defending Frank Mason. He stood straight up, looked to his right, and forgot he was guarding the ball. Well, who's the most important guy on the floor? Well, the guy with the ball.
So Frank Mason at the line yet again. The senior out of Petersburg, Virginia. Amazing to think that originally he committed to Towson
Man, how easy is it to love this kid and the
Yeah.
way he plays and the leadership. The leadership he showed today in practice was as impressive as anything I've seen, short of Sharon Collins. Reminded me of Sharon and the way he used to take guys aside and chide them and push them and encourage them. And, well, this is Frank Mason's team.
He has 16 tonight, a 3-point Jayhawks lead. Robinson.
Good
Williams.
pass.
Underneath, but that's a TCU turnover. 15:51 to go. The Horned Frogs hanging with the number 3 Jayhawks. 3-point game from Fort Worth.
The College Football Playoff Semifinals tomorrow on ESPN.
Looks like we're bound to start anew. Who better to start it with than you, dear? See you next year.
This season, start a new tradition. Experience the power of Infinity now with leases starting at $319 a month. Infinity. Empower the drive.
There he is. What's up, Miles? Blue, this is Miles. Miles, Blue.
Great party, man. Better game days call for better pizza.
And now get 2 large pizzas with any choice of 2 toppings for just $8 each. That's 2 large 2-topping pizzas for only $8 each.
Better ingredients.
Better pizza.
Papa John's.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
Guys, I'm good. Now you don't have to distract yourself to last longer. With new KY Duration Spray, men everywhere can last longer and stay in the moment. New KY Duration.
You too. Men's Warehouse rings in the new year with an additional 60% off clearance. Plus 9-iron dress shirts are $3 for $99. Designer suits are $2 for $49. And buy one, get one free on great looks store-wide. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Well, it's been a run of almost unprecedented success for the Kansas Jayhawks in their conference. The Big 12 has been dominated by Rock Chalk Jayhawk over the last dozen years. 12 regular season titles, 27 straight NCAA tournament appearances, 27 seasons with 20-plus wins, including 7 30-plus win years, and of course, virtually unbeatable at Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
You really almost run out of adjectives because you can't do those numbers justice. And you talk about Bill Self doing this with different styles, different teams, with different, emphasis, and his share of one-and-done players. You can't write it off that he doesn't get guys that come and leave, and just absolutely remarkable.
They're getting a test tonight against the new era Horned Frogs of Jamie Dixon. He came to Fort Worth, his alma mater, and said, we're not rebuilding anything. We're here to win right away. And they come into this game with an 11-1 record. There's Vick with another 3, his 3rd of the night.
Gerald Vick is an unusual shooter. After the ball leaves his hands, he takes his eyes off the rim and he looks up and watches the flight of the ball. And not many kids can do that. And boy, Gerald Vick is really shooting that rock.
Fisher, the freshman. Nice feed inside. That's 7 assists for Jalen Fisher. And Vlad Brodzianski has 22. That's 2 off his career high.
Came into this game averaging just 10 points per game.
22 points in 21 minutes. You talk about efficient.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Vick off the mark. Chance to make it a 1-possession ball game, but Fisher turned it over.
Yeah, what happened? He saw Alex Robinson open underneath the basket. Instead of coming to a jump stop, he suddenly realized he didn't have the passing lane. And one of the few mistakes Jalen Fisher has made passing the ball tonight.
4 turnovers for the freshman to go along with those 7 assists. And now Desmond Bain, freshman of the week in the Big 12, had 15 and 6 at UNLV and 18 last week against Bradley, their final non-conference game.
It's a kid in high school, put up just enormous numbers. Averaged 30 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Scoring machine in high school was Desmond Bain.
He's averaging 9 on the season. Scoreless tonight, though. Hesitation, and he carried. A rare turnover for Frank Mason. First turnover of the night, as a matter of fact.
Bill Self saying, look, we're trying to do so much. Just pass the ball, make the easy pass, and let's get into our offense.
And you see the 4-guard lineup for Bill Self. And even Carlton Bragg Jr. is not a true 5, so he's really going small now. All of this predicated by the fact that their McDonald's All-American freshman, Azubuike, is out for the year with torn wrist ligaments.
Injury suffered in practice, had his hand on the back of an offensive player, and they cleared his arm off, came down, chopped his wrist, tore ligaments.
What a block by Bain. Williams got caught up in the air. Chance to make it a 1-possession ball game. Bain lost it. Mason. And a fresh 30 for the Jayhawks. Mason with the foul on Bain.
Desmond Bain showing some serious athleticism. Watch him coming straight into your living room for this block. Oh, what a great play in transition by Desmond Bain.
I talk to most coaches, and the reason they want to run after misses and things like that is because most coaches say that there's really no team in college basketball that's good at defensive transition.
That's right. Running backwards is hard to stop guys running forward.
Graham, and he gets fouled, and will go to the line. Well, as if you need another reminder, tomorrow, huge day in college football at 3 p.m. It kicks off with the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, number 4 Washington taking on number 1 Alabama. Then followed that with a 7 Eastern kickoff between number 3 Ohio State and number 2 Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. I tell you, I always love watching Alabama play. I'm a fan of dominant teams and seeing how good they could be. But that Buckeyes Clemson Tigers game, that's the one I'm circling. Can't wait to see that. Four turnovers the last 5 possessions for TCU. Where do you think they look for a bucket right now, Reed? How about the freshman?
Yeah, that isn't what I would have gone with. But boy, the first time that Jalen Fisher really looked good, being aggressive on the offensive end, looking for his shot.
First 2 points of the game for Jalen Fisher, the freshman.
He's stronger looking than I anticipated. He's got a thick body, and boy, he's fast.
Carries himself and talks like a veteran.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you asked Jamie Dixon about him being a freshman. He goes, yeah, I don't really think of him as a freshman.
7 on the shot clock. Mason knocks it down. First 3-pointer of the night for Frank Mason. Largest lead of the game for the Jayhawks. An and one situation for the Frogs, coming right back.
A big basket by TCU. Again, a poor closeout. And boy, I tell you what, Alex Robinson at just 6'1", he is fearless the way he attacks the basket. It was a nice comeback. Frank Mason with his 19th point on one end, then came back down to the other, and Alex Robinson just attacked the rim.
Alex Robinson returning home in some sorts. His mom, Darla, played basketball here in the 80s.
Same time Jamie Dixon was playing for the men.
It's the reason that Alex is wearing number 25, just like his mom did. Big rebound by Bain. Hesitation, Fisher. Stolen away by the other zero, Frank Mason. And a TCU foul is going to go on Robinson. Third foul on Robinson. And here's another one of those set plays out of bounds that Kansas executes so well.
See, if TCU stays in a man-to-man or they go zone, they're going to stay man-to-man.
Jamie Dixon has hung his hat on defense and rebounding and efficient offense. There's the lob, and the set play out of bounds works again for Bill Self.
Now you have three aspects of your game. You have offense, defense, and a lot of coaches call that special teams. And I tell you what, Bill Self, I said it in the first half, as good as anybody in America in special team, special plays, sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds.
Here's Parrish. Yes, his shot's been on tonight. Brandon Parrish has 9, all from beyond the arc. Vic, in and out.
Good pass.
Ain hangs, can't hit. Mikhailuk comes away with it. Vic draws contact, and the foul on the floor will go on Fisher. 11:02 to go. It's still just a 4-point Jayhawks lead.
Order envy. When you want what you have and what they have, introducing the new $1 Double Stack Tacos. Spicy sweet, nacho crunch, and cool habanero. 2 flavors stacked together in one taco for only $1.
The holidays should bring joy. So why are you still putting up with complicated cashback cards? Some cards limit where you earn bonus cashback to places they choose. Then they change those places every few months. Quicksilver keeps it simple. With Quicksilver, you've always earned unlimited 1.5% cashback on every purchase, everywhere. 'Tis the season for simple. What's in your wallet?
Bridgestone engineers are helping NHL All-Star PK Subban take his nephew out for some ice cream.
But it's so cold. I'm from Canada. It's never too cold for ice cream.
We set up an obstacle course to demonstrate Bridgestone's Blizzak WS80 tires.
Whoa!
The advanced engineering of our tires helps you stop safely on ice. In fact, 33% faster than an all-season tire.
Wow. Yeah, we're not done yet.
He's coming back, right?
This is our workshop. And this is our tradition. These are our lights. And this is our season of performance. Take advantage of some of the best offers of the year at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now.
This holiday, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX. Hurry, this event won't last.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
Number 3 Kansas up 460 on TCU. Their last bucket. Take us inside the play, Reed.
Now watch the terrific spacing. So as this play develops, we'll stop right there. Now watch Kansas. They'll go, they'll clear it out, and it's a simple down screen. But what happens is defensively, look at all the white shirts. You've lifted everybody up and away, and there's nobody there. And then suddenly defensively, you're standing there and you're Chris Washburn and you're on an island. You have no idea which way to go. And another example of a terrific executed sideline out of bounds play by Kansas.
Special teams from Bill Self. The good teams practice it all the time.
Well, you know what? If you go into a game saying, look, if we can get 10 points from just specialty plays, that's huge. And especially when you start talking about going on the road in the Big 12 and winning a game. And boy, it's just a factor year in and year out, and nobody's better than Self.
Vic knocks it down. He has 16 tonight. And Landon Lucas on the floor. He has 12 points and 13 boards. And one thing we saw him doing, especially with the younger players for Kansas in practice, was coaching them up on the floor in those special teams.
Carlton Bragg was lost on a couple of plays, and it wasn't Bill Self, it wasn't Frank Mason, it was Landon Lucas who went and grabbed him and showed him where to go and what he was doing wrong. When you get your upperclassmen leading like that.
Harris short that time. Payne the offensive rebound. And a foul on the floor. That's going to go on Lucas. That's the second foul on Lucas. Another thing worth noting, even though it's not necessarily the sexiest thing to talk about, we knew coming in that free throw shooting was the Achilles heel of this Kansas team. They've knocked down 15 of 16 from the stripe tonight.
Yeah, and that will win you some games on the road as well. Came into the game shooting just 59% from the line.
First points of the night for the freshman Desmond Bane out of Richmond, Indiana. TCU hanging around, 4-point game. Graham. No. Williams the rebound.
Really good defense that time by TCU.
Williams working on a double-double. He has 11 points and 8 rebounds tonight. And no whistle on that play. Halfway done with the second half. Vick high off the glass. And Fisher wants to run.
Good pull-up, 1-on-3.
Parrish. Off the back iron. And look at Williams fight for it. Kansas ball.
Boy, those two kids are going at it. And I tell you what, you talk about rebounding effort. The only thing I've seen as impressive as Landon Lucas tonight has been Kenrich Williams, and how appropriate that both of them go slamming out of bounds after that ball. Kenrich Williams may be pound for pound as good a rebounder as there is in the country this year.
He's first in the conference, and that's saying something. 6 times he's had 10-plus rebounds this season.
6'7".
Good hands by Williams, but it'll stay Kansas ball with 12 on the shot clock.
You kind of get the feeling one of those Kansas runs is coming, and we saw them in the first half start off 1 for 8 and then turn around and go 17 for 23.
Here's that same side out of bounds that they scored on the lob the last time.
And there's that graphic, the only player in the Big 12 averaging a double-double, Kenrich Williams.
Here's another lob to Mikhailuk.
Exact same play, except instead of curling off that down screen, he rejects the screen and back cuts. Just so good.
Mason has 19 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds tonight.
And 1 turnover.
Stat sheet stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Fisher in the paint. Almost turned it over. Now Brodzianski, he's gone quiet. Bane chases down his own miss. Look at the work from the freshman. TCU's been within 4 for seemingly the last hour and a half.
They have.
And Williams again with the hands. Look at this, they have Kenrich Williams guarding Frank Mason at the point. 7 to shoot. Inside, Lucas. Good patience by Landon Lucas, and he'll go to the line and shoot.
There's that sideline out of bounds. Watch Svi Mikhailuk reject this screen down in the left corner of your screen. Watch, he comes up like he's going to curl, rejects it, and look at the paint. I mean, talk about everybody again lifted so high up and nobody there, and that's a counter to the play that we saw immediately preceding that on the sideline out of bounds.
And you can call that Svi 2.0, because a year ago, he probably wouldn't have made that back cut.
That's right. Boy, just set it up perfect. Walked up to the cut like he was going to curl, and TCU's going, wait, this is the play they just ran. You're looking for that down screen, and then bam.
Lucas has 13 tonight. Maybe more impressively, the work he's done on the boards. 15 rebounds for the senior.
He's been great.
Big reason why Kansas has themselves a 5-point lead on the road, 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a good goal. Kavar Shepard on moving screen trying to free up Brandon Parrish.
Kansas knocking down their free throws. They lead by 5, looking for Big 12 opener win number 26 in a row.
Not everyone speaks Sriracha. But when a fan says Sriracha! They want a Sriracha chicken sandwich with Sriracha Jack cheese, Sriracha infused aioli, and a Sriracha bun. Wendy's spicy Sriracha chicken sandwich for a limited time.
Men's Warehouse rings in the new year with an additional 60% off clearance. Plus 9-iron dress shirts are $3 for $99. Designer suits are $2 for $49. And buy one, get one free on great looks store-wide. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Do you own a small business and are looking to hire new employees? EricsJobs.com offers $25 job postings. It has all the features of a national job board, but with a small business price. EricsJobs.com is your best hiring solution. Only $25 for a 30-day job posting. If you have a small business and need employees, post your jobs today at EricsJobs.com. $25 job postings.
A great deal is just a click away at DonHatton.com. You'll find a large, ever-evolving inventory with the lowest price always posted online. Browse through great photos of new and pre-owned vehicles in the privacy of your home. You can even apply for financing before you buy, and scheduling service has never been easier. Just pick the time that works best for you and book it. Go online and see for yourself at DonHatton.com.
Don Hatton, shop us last, you'll love us.
Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg in our ESPN studios. Oregon coming off that win over UCLA. USC still undefeated. Dylan Ennis to Chris Boucher with the dunk. 27-23 Oregon over USC. And staying in the Pac-12, Seth?
Charlie Moore, one of the elite freshmen in college basketball, was supposed to go to Memphis to play for Josh Pastner. He can get in the lane and knock down shots.
Well, here's a look at the remaining unbeatens. As you heard Andy and Seth talk about USC taking on Oregon right now. And if it wasn't for that thrilling overtime loss to start the season against Indiana, this Kansas team would be part of that group.
And you know what? TCU may say, but for that loss against SMU, we'd be part of that group.
Got that right. Although to a man, the TCU coaching staff was telling us that loss might have been a good thing in the long run, because if they were 12-0 coming in, we wouldn't be able to coach this team.
Might got a little intoxicated with success.
With that said, still the second best start ever for the Horned Frogs.
They did it with points in the paint. It was dead even in the first half, 16-16, but +8 favoring TCU points in the paint here in the second half.
The numbers right now look really good for TCU. The only number that's not is that they're down 5. Here's Shepard. Kept his puppies on the turf.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but that's what we saw a lot in the first half.
And that's 9 assists for Jalen Fisher.
Good pin.
Lucas, no. Again. Landon Lucas is going to be the MVP of this game if Kansas holds on to win.
Well, such a good duck-in move. So Kansas is swinging the ball around the perimeter. Look where his feet are when he catches that ball. The ball's swinging on the perimeter, and all of a sudden Landon Lucas ducks in. He gets low, and he's got both feet inside the paint, almost on the restricted arc. And, well, once he catches the ball there, he's just too big a load to stop.
He's got 15 points, working on 16 with this three-point play, and tying a career high with 16 rebounds tonight.
So if you're defending one of the bigs for Kansas, you can't get lulled into watching the ball go around the perimeter. You got to sit down, stay low, and realize that Landon's going to at any moment going to duck in and step into you and seal you.
In and out on the free throw. A rare miss tonight for the Jayhawks from the stripe. Lucas, rebound number 17.
Well, he's going to end up with 20 rebounds when this game's over.
Blocked by Brodzianski. He's second in the conference in that category. And here he is at the other end. Tying a career high for Vlad Brodzianski. 24 for the big man. Jackson, left hand. He's been quiet all night, not there.
Playing with 4 fouls. Devontae Graham's cramping. He's got something going on with his left calf. Well, I don't think Fisher realizes that you'd attack him off the dribble.
10 to shoot for the Frogs. Fisher for 3. No, Miller the offensive rebound. And the foul's gonna go on Lucas.
We talked so much about the energy and effort of Landon Lucas. How about Brodzianski blocking the ball at the rim, and look at him running hard. Straight down the pipe, and a nice find by Alex Robinson, but a really good effort by Brodzianski that last series.
I was just at the Hawks and Knicks game in Atlanta a couple nights ago. I was positively Kristaps Porzingis-like.
There you go.
The 7-footer running the floor.
Yeah, that's not a bad role model for Brodzianski.
And now Graham goes to the bench to tend to what you would notice when he was out on the floor. Mason in his stead.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just got, kneed in the calf or something, because nobody's going over to attend to him. Makes you think it's a bruise instead of a cramp.
It's been a close game most of this game, 73-68 right now, and you'd hate for free throws to determine the outcome. But right now, that could be the telling tale. Jackson, not a great shooter, passed up on the open 3. But Svi Mikhailuk doesn't. He's a knockdown three-point shooter, his 3rd tonight.
Jalen Fisher closed out, and he had his hands down instead of up, and Devontae Graham says, let's go, fellas, let's go. Here comes that run, and Svi Mikhailuk knocking down a big shot for the Jayhawks.
Daddy, can I play now?
I love you too, baby.
We get your passion. Visit a local Phillips 66, proud sponsor of the Big 12 Conference.
Set the trap.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
That's what I'm talking about.
You know I got you.
there's one of these.
Set the trap.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
You know I got you.
Talk to an agent for help combining your home and auto into a plan that's right for you. Here to help life go right. State Farm.
Looks like we're bound to start anew. Who better to start it with than you, dear? See you next year.
This season, start a new tradition. Experience the power of Infinity now with leases starting at $319 a month. Infinity. Empower the drive.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
Well, that young whippersnapper is Jamie Dixon from when he was playing here as a TCU guard 30 years ago. He led the Southwest Conference with 5.4 assists per game in his senior season. He's actually a member of the TCU Athletic Hall of Fame right here inside Schollmeyer Arena. And he was known as a wiry, tough player. No surprise when you know what kind of coaching acumen he brings to this TCU team. And when you think about how far this team has come from last year, 2-16 in the Big 12, and all of a sudden right now on opening night in conference play, Reed, they are hanging with the heaviest of heavy hitters in Kansas.
Going toe-to-toe. Jamie said, we're going to find out where we are real quick. And boy, where they are is competitive and gritty and tough. And look at the numbers of Jamie Dixon. Led the Southwest Conference in assists his senior year. Our careers overlapped by 1 year. Jamie was actually a roommate in college of a high school teammate of mine by the name of Matt Minnis.
Jackson
Good
got
defense.
the steal. And Svi comes up with it. Mikhailuk. Good hands by Robinson to break that up.
Yeah, great play by Josh Jackson. Got those long arms out in a passing lane. Not only deflected it, but then picked it up, controlled it without traveling, and got it to a teammate.
It's one of the things that Bill Self is effusive about in his praise of Josh Jackson. He doesn't have to score points to impact the game. He's the hardest worker on the team. He might be the best defender on this team.
Yeah, I've heard Bill Self say that defensively about somebody, but I've never heard him describe a freshman as his hardest working player.
And yet Jackson continues to struggle from the offensive side of things, and that's his final foul of the game. A DQ for Josh Jackson tonight.
Well, look, in Josh Jackson, he is going to have a spectacular career, but tonight's a lesson learned. You can't get frustrated and slam the ball down and take away one of those fouls. Now suddenly you're sitting down on the bench and your team needs you for the next 4 minutes and 28 seconds.
He had 10+ points in 11 of the first 12 games of the season. This is his lowest scoring output in his young career.
And you said it earlier, last four has been terrific. 19 points, 9 rebounds, doing a little bit of everything.
Frogs need to hit their free throws. They do right there. J.D. Miller has 5 now with the front end of that 1-and-1. 76-69, number 3 Kansas started out horrifically from the field. 1 for 13, trailed by 10 at one point in the first half, but they've led most of the way since then.
Shot 8% to start the game and then followed up and shot 74% the rest of the way in the first half.
Graham back on the floor. Here's Brad. Extra pass. And Devontae Graham will shoot free throws. This Kansas team, 16 for 19 from the free throw line. And when Bill Self takes a look at the final stat sheet, he's going to like that.
First place his eyes will go.
17 for 20. Well, tonight on ESPN, after the Orange Bowl, stick around for SportsCenter at night. SVP with the highlights from 5 bowl games. Of course, a ton of college hoops, NFL news, updates from Ronda Rousey's fight as well. That's the SportsCenter at night with Scott Van Pelt coming up.
You know, that
ESPN.
That 59%, that's an aberration. They've got too many good shooters. They don't have a single player in the rotation shooting over 71%. And by the end of the year, they're going to have a couple flirting with 80%. Good hustle.
Step back, 3. Got it. J.D. Miller.
Yeah, just his 8th three-point field goal of the season. And, boy, he pulled up, and I looked over at Jamie to see if he was going to yell, no!
2-possession ball game, 3:40 to go. Kansas riding a 25-game Big 12 opener win streak. Mikhailuk. Offensive rebound. Mason gives it back to Bragg. Rewarded for his efforts.
Yeah, nice finish that time by Carlton Bragg. And Terrific defense that time by Jalen Fisher. He closed out. I think it was Kenrich Williams came out and put high hands up on Mekhi Luke and challenged that three-pointer and did everything right to the very end.
The lead is back up to 8. Kansas looking for its 12th straight win following that season-opening loss to Indiana in overtime. Brodzianski, no. Got himself a rebound and puts it back off the window. A career-high 26 for Vlad Brodzianski.
Came into the game only averaging 10 points per game this season. Back to the 2-3 zone. We saw a little bit of this. It was successful the first couple possessions, and then Kansas picked it apart.
Picked off by Robinson.
Bill Self's going to call a timeout and talk about it.
Kansas has 2 timeouts remaining. TCU has 1. There's 2:25 left, and it's still just a 4-point lead for Kansas.
TCU changes defense. Alex Robinson runs through a lazy pass, and TCU back in this game.
Amazing things can happen during the playoffs. See, we told you so. Get 2 large 2-topping Papa John's pizzas for $8 each. And try our new stuffed cheese sticks for just $5 each.
Papa John's, the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 51.
One test drive in a Mazda 6 gives one vet a new friend. One ride in a Mazda 3 delivers one hot meal to someone in need. Test drive any Mazda during the Drive for Good event and we'll give back 1 hour of our time to local causes. Then we'll donate to St. Jude or a charity you choose when you buy any new Mazda, because driving matters most when you're driving for good.
Why do we snack? Because we have nothing better to do? Well, people who snack on almonds have something better to do. Almonds are heart healthy and full of energy, with the crunch that keeps you in the game. California almonds. Crunch on.
Grandma, I'm good.
Now you don't have to distract yourself to last longer. With new KY Duration Spray, men everywhere can last longer and stay in the moment. New KY Duration.
You too?
The playoff is here.
What a statement night this is for Washington.
Crimson Tide trying for a 5th title in 8 years.
They want to be the best ever.
The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Then
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Clemson can win the national championship because of that offense.
the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. The college football playoff semifinals. Washington, Alabama at 3 and Ohio State Clemson at 7. Tomorrow on ESPN.
Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg here in studio. Oregon taking on USC. Look at the ball movement here, Seth Greenberg. Eventually, this ball is going to get to Tyler Dorsey for a 3.
Great use of the shot fake to open up a three-point shot, but more importantly, Dylan Brooks with 20 in the first half. They've established Dylan Brooks. That is big for Oregon basketball.
And coming up 8 past the hour, Ivan Rabb. He's averaging 14 and 9 for Cal as they take on Arizona. Let's get back to the final minutes of TCU and Kansas.
Thanks, AK. It's an exciting one here in Fort Worth. Schollmeyer Arena sold out for the first time, and they have seen a dandy in the Big 12 opener between Kansas and TCU. Rich Hollenberg, Reed Geddes, thrilled that you're with us as we bring down the curtain on opening night in Big 12 play.
And watch for Landon Lucas ducking in.
Mason out to Vic. 5 on the shot clock. Wild shot by Graham, gets it to go.
What a shot. Brodzianski went straight up, and what a basket by Devontae Graham.
5 Jayhawks in double figures now. Graham with 11. Fisher.
Watch this basket by Devontae Graham. And Brodzianski goes straight up, and man, how he got that ball over those long arms. What a basket.
That's levitation, Holmes.
Yeah, boy, that was awesome.
There's Fisher to inbounds. Robinson catching fire.
Now, normally a 42% three-point shooter, Alex Robinson.
Minute and a half left. Kansas trying to hang on the road. And Mason hangs and hits.
Big. That's almost not fair to Alex Robinson. Somebody's got to come over and help, fake at him, stun at him, do something to get the ball out of Frank Mason's hands.
It's the seventh time this season that Frank Mason is over 20 points.
I didn't see what happened.
And now Devontae Graham is down.
Holding that left knee. Maybe he just got to knock knees together.
Appears to be what it was with Brodzianski. Brodzianski was leaning over too at the free throw line.
I don't know whether Landon Lucas didn't call out that screen and let him know that it was coming, but boy, he sure ran right into it.
So Vlad Brodzianski will go to the line. Already a career high 26, and he's perfect from the free throw line tonight. Start off New Year's Eve with two exciting bowl games in the morning at 11 Eastern, Georgia Tech and Kentucky in the Tax Slayer Bowl. Then at 7 on ABC, number 20 LSU against number 13 Louisville and Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson. Bowl season continues on the ESPN networks. What a night for Vlad Brodzianski with 28 points.
And himself a basketball game, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, Brodzianski.